Hey everybody, this is Bonnie Barker with Bonnie Bay Crochet, and let me figure this thing out here. Boom. Okay. My computer started asking me for permissions all of a sudden, right as I'm going live. Well, welcome to Friday Fun Live. It's been 2 whole weeks since we've been together. I can't believe it's been that long. It's so good to be back. Whew. Lots of things to talk about. I've been to 2 fiber festivals since we last talked, had an excellent time. And you know what? I need to pull Hannah up. Hold on one second. As I get organized here. Do. Make that a little bit smaller. And let's go ahead and bring Hannah in. My admin moderator. I lovingly call her my bouncer. She's the one who keeps us safe and keep some of the not so desirable stuff that we really aren't blessed with out of the chat. So thank you, Hannah, for being here for us and making this a more enjoyable, experience for all of us. All right, let me go ahead and close this down a little bit. Sorry for all the admin stuff. I guess I'm getting a little bit rusty. No, don't want to do that. Sorry. Okay, got it. Okay. All right, let's close that. Okay. All right, let me get this all situated and let's close this up a little bit more so I can see Hannah. Okay. All right. I think I'm finally getting my act together. Thank you for being so patient. We've got so many things to talk about, but let me go ahead and jump in and just try to greet as many of you as I can, because that's the main reason I like to do this. So Susan B of Susie Pops Crochet, she says, hello, everyone. Have a great day. Thank you for being the first person in our chat. That's wonderful. And Kelly, I'm sorry things are a little rough there with your sister, but keep at it. Keep loving her, showing her grace, my friend. And I also want to wish you a happy Mother's Day. Brad's mom, it's good to see you in the chat. She says, good morning, Bonnie, Hannah, and Becky, and all my dear Yarnies from sunny and pleasant Southwest Chicago suburbs. And please don't forget to smash that thumbs up button. Thank you all. Yeah. And just to reiterate the weather here, I'm joining you from a cold and clammy and rainy Gaithersburg, Maryland this morning. I'm looking out. Yeah, it's still drizzly out there. It's in the 50s. What's with that? It was in the 70s and 80s. So now we're still fluctuating back and forth, which is probably fine. I hope tomorrow's a good day. I'm going to be driving up to let me get the name of this. Let me get the name of this place for you in case you are in the area. I'm going to put a shameless plug in for my daughter-in-law, Molly. There is a place just south of the PA border in Maryland, out north, almost directly north of Baltimore, called the Big Truck Farm Brewery. And my daughter-in-law, Molly, will be having a craft table there. They're going to have some arts and crafts for sale available. And I'm told by Molly that this place has the absolute best hamburgers and onions and all of that. And they have a lot of nice beverages as well. I'm not a beer person, but for those of you who might enjoy that kind of thing, maybe that's something you want to check out. So anyway, I'll be there tomorrow afternoon sometime. Molly's going to put some of my beginning crochet books on her table because a lot of people who buy crafts that she sells, and by the way, she knits and crochets, and she's on Instagram if you want to follow Molly Knits Shop. You can see what she's up to. All right, so let me get back to saying hello to you all. So Angie is good morning to you. She says, good morning all. Happy Mother's Day on Sunday. Thank you, Angie. I want to wish you all a happy Mother's Day as well. And in fact, let me go ahead and start. I usually don't read things like this till the end of the broadcast. So some of you at the beginning who kind of depart after 5 minutes, which is fine. You may not have heard me read things like this. So I'm going to read something. Actually, it's not directly associated with Mother's Day, but I know for many, Mother's Day can be particularly painful because you've lost your mother, or maybe you're not a mother and you've always wanted to be. I have relatives in my family who would love to have, had children, but it was just not in the Lord's plan for them. And anyway, all that to say, and I know sometimes being a mom, you can have expectations. You're going to hear from your children and you don't. And it can be kind of a sticky wicket. So I wanted to read the words to a song called Grace by Wayne Watson. Again, it's not a Mother's Day poem or anything real sweet and drippy, but it's a reminder of grace that we've been given, especially, particularly those who are in Christ. He writes, and this is in a song: grace keeps giving me things I don't deserve. Mercy keeps withholding things I do. Words that seldom fail me leave me looking for the words to express my gratitude. To express my gratitude. That list keeps getting longer, more than I can count. I thought I could get close to more deserving. Unworthy on my best day, unworthy at my worst, to receive this blessing that you give me freely. And then again, grace keeps giving me things I don't deserve. Mercy keeps withholding things I do. Words that seldom fail me leave me looking for the words to express my gratitude. And then another verse: you must have your reasons. You must have a plan. You must see some treasure here I'm missing. If I could see myself through your eyes, it would be easier to breathe and display your loving kindness to the world around me. And grace keeps giving me things I don't deserve. Mercy keeps withholding things I do. Words that seldom fail me leave me looking for the words to express my gratitude for grace. So I hope that helps somebody out there. I know it's a wonderful holiday. It's a tough holiday. And I'm not trying to get, real melancholy here on you, but I just think it's just, just the way we respond as we grow through life, to this. Um, yes, Barbara wants to know, does Molly have an online store? Don't know if her Etsy account is active, but you can follow her on Instagram at Molly's Knit Shop. So you can check that out. I think she may have her Etsy store deactivated right now, but she has had one in the past. And just having gotten married in February, and moved, and just new married life and so forth. There just hasn't been the time. It's also, I think she works full time from home, and for another company, and has taken on some additional responsibilities with the company as well. So, but I'll let you know, Barbara, when she does activate the store. And Jan says, Joanne's door closed on the 26th of April, and now she's without a job. Oh my goodness, Jan, I'm so sorry to hear about that. I hope that you can find something soon. Um, yeah, that's came out of nowhere. Well, not really, but I really do hope you find something that you love just as much, if not better. Okay. I will, Hannah, I will look at this after, and I will add her, to my prayer list, for employment. And please keep us posted, Jan. Now, Angie says, okay, that was the Happy Mother's Day. Thank you for reminding me of that, Angie. I wanted to read that early on, and your prompting there reminded me to do that. And Wanda says, good morning, Bonnie, and everyone, praying that all the sweet mommies have a happy Mother's Day. I wish that too, Wanda. Thank you so much. I wasn't trying to be, a wet rag on Mother's Day with my comments there. I just wanted to let you all know that, we're sensitive to the spectrum there, with this holiday. I used to think that I have to tell you, I used to think that this was all only for my mom's generation, because whenever we'd celebrate Mother's Day, it was all about the grandmas. But I'm glad it was, because my mom is gone. She's with the Lord. And so, Anyway, just don't want anyone to be miserable and get too introspective, on that day if your son doesn't give you flowers or what, whatever. I mean, it's so easy to devolve into bitterness, and feelings of not that aren't so nice. So, have I ever done that before? Mm, I don't know. Probably, which is why I have to remind myself too. So I'm not just when I got one of my favorite pastors used to say is I say this to you all, but I'm preaching it to myself foremost, first and foremost. So anyway, digging myself into a hole here today. Um, and Love to Craft, it's good to see you in the chat. And Jesus Joy 7, glad to have you here. She says it's a beautiful sunny day in San Diego. I hope your hubby is getting better. Still praying for quick healing there after that terrible fall. And Michelle says, good morning, everyone. So happy I finally made it to a live on time, early even. Wow. Well, thank you, Michelle. I know that feeling sometimes. Yeah, and Jet One In. So glad to have you with us today. And Darlene, good morning to you. And Alana, happy Friday. And Donna, she says, hope this finds you well and basking in God's grace and love. Absolutely. There's no other way, is there? And Eve, glad to have you here. And Ola Joe, just love your post, my friend. Those of you who haven't followed Ola Joe, the crocheting sailor, check her out on Instagram. She's really clever. And you might like some of the crochet that she does. And Wanda, there you are, greeting everybody. How wonderful. Here I am getting behind, way far behind. Okay, here we go. Oh, nope, I missed a lot. Gee whiz, I need to stop talking. And Sandra, good to have you here. And Phil, so glad to have you here from Utah this time. Wow. Phil's our traveling crocheter with his tractor trailer, delivering goodness to everybody across the country. And just going to be praying for you specifically for the Mother's Day, Phil, because I know this has been a hard year, losing your mom and all. But yeah. Oh, thank you, Ola Joe. She says she likes my top. Yeah, this is the Celtic braided summer top. It's on my channel somewhere. And with my one of my favorite summery yarns, the Universal Yarns Pop Sock. It's a bamboo yarn and really nice to crochet with and very, very airy and breathable for the summer. Um, yeah. And Hannah, again, thanks for being there. And thanks for praying for Hannah, Wanda. She could certainly use your prayers this week, dealing with some physical pain and all. Um, and Kendall, great to have you here. And again, Sandra and Ekstrom, good morning or afternoon, wherever you find yourself watching this broadcast. And thanks again, Olajo, for the happy early Mother's Day. I wish the same to you and your family. And Dee, good morning from West Virginia. We were in West Virginia not long ago. Out at where did we go? Ugh, it's where the rivers converge. Harper's Ferry. That's right, Harper's Ferry. And Barbara says, good morning. It's 40 degrees, sunny, weeds growing well. I hope it warms up for you, Barbara. She's our crocheter friend from Alaska somewhere in the sticks there. I guess you could say, yeah, she's my creative friend, makes a lot of things, grows a lot of things. It's amazing what she's doing. I think the word I was looking for is homesteader. I guess you could apply that to you, Barbara. Um, oh, I'm sorry. Jet One In. She's asking for prayer, said that she suffered a miscarriage in March and Mother's Day is going to be really hard for her. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I remember doing that, going through that with Becky. So yeah, so sorry about that one, Jet One In. Yeah, like I say, that holiday, it's a wonderful holiday. It's a sticky wicket, it's just yeah. I I honestly have mixed emotions about it. Always have. I think partly because if I forgot about it or didn't do something in a timely fashion, I'd be in the doghouse with my mom, and, that was never my intent, so that's what I have to remember, and you remember this too, if your kids forget or they forget your birthday or whatever, I mean, it's not done on purpose. I mean, they're busy, they have busy lives too, and it's easy to just forget these kinds of things, even if the advertisement industry will not let you forget. Um, yeah, grace is always the way to go in just about all things, I think. All right, and Red Hooked is in the chat. She's joining us from a sunny Northeast Ohio. Hope everyone has a wonderful Mother's Day weekend. Thank you, Red Hooked. And thank you again, Hannah, for what you're doing. We got Christine Murphy from Ohio. And Donna says hello. And we have Archer and Ace. Hey, it's good to see you in the chat, Terry. She says, I thought you were off today, Bonnie. I'm making uh, on a hill far away as a pillow. I'll send it to you when it's done. So yeah, definitely send me a photo. I'd love to see that. Um, I've always thought about taking the center part of the On a Hill Far Away, which is for those of you who aren't familiar with that, it's an Easter throw, and it, in the center is a picture of three crosses representing um, Calvary, not Calgary. That's in Canada. Calvary. Um, and I thought it'd always be fun. I'm looking over at my box of leftover fingering weight yarn with all those beautiful hand dyed colors. I thought it would be fun to just make a picture to be framed just using all the different colors of my leftover fingering weight hand dyed yarns. I think that would be kind of a fun project. I might have to do that when things settle down, but it's not going to be this summer because this summer is, oh, it's getting ready to heat up big time for me. Um, I don't even want to think about it. I'm not even going to recount because it's too much to think about. Well, let me go ahead and get down to the main thing of today, and that is I have a giveaway, and this is kind of a big thing. Let me show you. I'm going to give away 3 books to 3 individuals. This is my new book. I don't believe I've given them away here on my YouTube channel yet. Now, don't be sending in numbers or anything. I'm going to do this a little bit differently. I'm going to make it a little bit more drawn out so that we won't know who the winners are today. But let me show you. I'm going to give 3 of these, 1 to 3 different people. And I have a grand prize. And this is courtesy of the Yarnsmith. She's put together for me a yarn kit that she is donating to us for a giveaway. And with this, I'm going to throw in the book as well. I'm going to throw the book at you. No, throw in the book and the yarn. So it will be a bona fide kit. And I'm actually going to put it in one of my bags that I reserve for conferences only, or yarn whatevers. So I'm going to put this inside the bag for one special winner for the grand prize, I guess you could say. Now let me talk about the yarn a bit. If you buy each of these individually, the kit would cost you $75. This is all merino. I think it's 75% merino, 25. Well, I can just look at the label. Okay, 75% merino superwash, 25% nylon. Each of these hanks has 463 yards. That's a very generous amount. And normally this kit would be $75. She's selling this kit on her website for $60. That's a $15 savings. If you want to buy the kit, there's a special link for that. And yes, I do have it included in the video description. Or if you just go to the Yarnsmiths, you could just Google theyarnsmith.com and you'll get to her site. And she has that as a special offer. You don't need a special code or anything. She has this on her site. Not sure how long she's going to have it there. She may have it there for a while, but just in case, if this is something that you've wanted to do, you can check that out. Um, so how, let me show you. I say that a lot. This is the shawl that you would be making. Okay, this is called the Phoenix shawl. Hopefully you can see some of the texture there. It's a rather large shawl. It's larger than the usual. And actually, I may just leave it on because there's a little bit of a chill in the room here. So, I mean, it's a nice weight. It's fingering weight yarn. So it makes for a very nice shawl. And I'm just going to leave it on for now. So, how do you enter? Good question. Okay. What I'm going to need you to do, this may be a little work oriented, but this will serve me the best in deciding who gets the winner. Okay. Once the broadcast is finished, I need you to leave a comment in the YouTube, not the live chat. Not so much. And maybe after the chat is completed, if you can come back, I know that's a lot to ask, but if you could put a comment in the comment section once the video is done, that way I can comment on it and it'll get back to you. Okay, if that makes sense. Because if you become one of our winners, I will comment in the comment section, and then your YouTube channel will notify you. You will get a notification through YouTube that I've responded to you. So I would like you to. This is the first time I'm doing this, so I need you to comment in the video after the video live is done. I also would like you to, if you haven't already done this, subscribe to my newsletter. How do you do that? You can look in a video description, or I'll put it right here in the chat. It's bonniebay@me.com is my website. Okay. And that's where you need to go to subscribe to my newsletter. My newsletter this is not the watch channel. This is the newsletter is free. I send it out a couple times a month. And like I always tell people, I don't sell my email list to anybody. Yeah, people really do that. That's how you get on these other lists and you don't know how you got on them. People sell your information. It happens all the time. It happens a lot. I don't do that. I'm not in this to make money in that kind of a tricky way. I just want people to love crochet. So whether you buy my stuff or somebody else's, it doesn't matter to me, honestly. I mean, it blesses me when you do, obviously. But anyway, I'm digging myself another hole here. I just want you to know, I do not sell your information. So if you join my newsletter, I will that's my way of communicating with you. And if you don't like being on the newsletter, you can get off just as easily as you get on. You can unsubscribe very easily. Okay. And I would like you to do one other thing. If you haven't already, I would love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Am I going to check for the winners that they've done that? Yeah, I am. Sorry. This is such a valuable prize. And I'm just very thankful to Donna for providing this for us. She's just such a cheerful woman. And she's one of these in the industry too that doesn't require anything. She voluntarily gave me comp yarn to make this shawl initially. And there were no promises. No, you got to do this, you got to do that. No, she's, oh, just please, I would love it if you could make something. But there was no stipulation, no strings attached. Ha ha ha. No pun intended. So anyway, so the grand prize will be the book, the yarn in one of my bags. And then I'll be 3 other winners who will get the bag by itself. Try that again. The book by itself. Okay. So again, and just one more time so that we're clear, I need you to leave a comment in the comment section once the video is no longer live. You would need to also subscribe to my newsletter, bonniebay@me.com. And then I need you to like this channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel. All these things are free. It doesn't cost you anything. And again, if you don't like what you see on the newsletter and you want to opt out, that's easy to do. I don't chase people down. I don't have that time. So anyway, that's the contest that I have, the giveaway. I if you are outside the US, I can email you a PDF of the book. I'm sorry, but I don't have the the resources to send these to any place overseas because and sometimes that can become over $100 or more just for shipping. And while I love everybody everywhere, I really can't afford to. I'm limited in resources, so I am limiting the prizes to US residents as far as shipping them out. But if you become one of our winners, again, I can send you a PDF of the book instead, which I think is not a bad thing. All right. Um, I also have an apology to make. Somewhere along the line, a lot of my Lovecraft's links just became broken, and I had no idea. I knew it was a few, and so I went in a couple weeks ago and I fixed a lot of them, about 15 links that for whatever reason, in the Lovecraft store, something changed at their end, and I needed to go back and change the links in the YouTube videos, which I did, but what I failed to do was to change them on my website. Well, this past weekend, once I got back from the festival, I spent hours, and then a day or so after that, I spent another 5, 6 hours trying to repair this. So if you run into a link that's not working, please let me know right away and I will repair that. But I went through everything in my website, updated, and every single one was broken. I mean, I don't know how this happened, but it did. But I just wanted to apologize. I didn't realize it was as bad as it was. Someone even emailed me and said, "Did you close your store?" And I'm like, "Oh, absolutely not." Um, but for whatever reason, the problem is fixed now to the best of my knowledge. I've spent, like I said, 2 days just, doing this, so I think it's all set. But if you ever have trouble getting something, from, a pattern or information or whatever, just email me directly. I get most of the comments from YouTube, and I try to respond to them, in a timely fashion. Most, except for weekends, of course, which I have a family, so I spend time with them. So if it's over a weekend, just know that you're gonna have to wait till the work week, and then I'll get back with you. But anyway, I just apologize for that. Glad it's fixed, and we're back in a back in business, guys. um, okay. Well, let me tell you a little bit about the fairs I've been to. I went to the Frederick Fiber Festival. I did not have my books there. I didn't have a stand or anything because I wanted to give my back a break and I wanted to just enjoy being a customer, just walking around. And I stopped by, and the people that um, were whose yarn I used in my new book, the Celtic crochet shawls and scarves. I was able to give them a signed copy of the book, just kind of thanking them for their yarn. And it's heating up in here, so we're going to take this off. And I got to see the yarnsmith. I don't know that I showed this to you, but she said, let just pick some yarn out for yourself. You don't have to make anything with it, but I'm going to design something for you guys with it too. So I got 3 hanks of this most gorgeous colorway. I mean, it's just what cut does she even call it? She calls it crushed berries. But when I saw this color, it reminded me of my dad. He, um, growing up in South Florida, one thing he did to relax was to piddle raising all sorts of beautiful plants. And he loved orchids. And he had the most gorgeous orchid. And I just thought this just reminded me of my dad, this orchid color. So I'm thinking of a beautiful shawl, maybe with glass beads or something added to it. So we'll see. I'm not sure what this is going to be yet, but stay tuned. I hope to make something really fun with that. And this past Saturday and Friday, that's why I didn't come here last Friday. I was very busy at the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival. Let me show you the booklet here that was available if you were interested. Okay. Now, Friday was interesting, and I have a video I've put together that will be coming on Monday, and you'll be able to see some of the sites of the Sheep and Wool Festival. Now, I will say it's not comprehensive at all. This festival is so big. There were over 250 vendors, and I know I didn't see, but maybe a third of that. And I was walking fast, trying to take in as much as I could, but it's overwhelmingly large. Um, but anyway, so I went Friday to be the judge of the crochet. And I was surprised by a couple of things. One was how few the number of entries were for the crochet, although they had more, much more than last year. But this year, there were so few people who even knew about this. And I told one of the organizers, I said, I didn't even know that I could enter my things in this. She's, oh, yeah, we've been doing that for, 45 years. And it's like, well, maybe we need to advertise it a little bit more. So that's what I'm going to do. I've talked about this in the video that's coming Monday, so I'm not going to give everything away that's in the video. But what I wanted to ask you all is to please consider entering the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival with your beautiful things. Okay, well, what if I'm not from Maryland? It doesn't matter. You can enter. They have received entries this from as far away as Germany in the past, and they regularly get out of the country entries as well. So how do you do that? Well, there are the two things that you need to keep in mind. One is the item has to be at least 50% wool. It can be commercial wool, it can be hand spun, it can be any kind because it's a wool festival, okay? Not just a general fair, but a wool festival. So if you have something, as long as it's 50% wool or more, you can enter it. There aren't a lot of categories right now, but my hope is that if many people get the word out and realize that you don't have to be from Maryland to enter, the prizes aren't. It's not like you're going to win $1,000 or anything for these prizes. I mean, the prizes are small, although they're more than the usual county fairs. You might get 10, $15 if you place, and beautiful ribbon. And it's the fun of entering, of course. But that said, those of you who are in the Maryland area, I mean, Virginia, I mean, if you attend the Yarn Festival at all, um, you should consider entering. Um, you generally would have to bring it. Uh, all the rules would be online. They also have books you can get, but they also are online. I do have the link in the video description if you just want to look at some of the rules. I know it can be a little dicey to look through some of the administration, but you know, which is why, okay, I haven't plugged this in a while, but which is why I wrote this book years ago, Winning at the Fair, which kind of talks a little bit about, how to enter. It's not for the seasoned fair goer. I mean, if you've been entering since you were 5 years old, you don't need this book. But if you're a little intimidated by how do I do this? What are the rules? What's it like? You might want to pick up a copy. I think this is 5 or $6 on Amazon. It's not that much. Um, but anyway, so definitely if you're in the Maryland area, or if you have a friend who can pick up your item on Sunday, that's the one stipulation. It has to be made of wool. And to get your item back, you have to pick it up between 4:30 and 5:30 on the Sunday afternoon when the fair is shutting down. Um, and if you know somebody in the area who can do that, that would be great. So that's the only hard part, is getting the item back. But if you plan on traveling to this area and to go to the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival, I just want to encourage you to consider entering. So anyway, so I did learn a lot, being able to judge. It was nice having someone there who was a scribe. Yeah, I had my own scribe to write down the notes. They have volunteers that do that. If you're interested in volunteering at things like this, they're very much open to having volunteers help. There are a lot of different things you can do. Um, and I will mention one thing that I did notice. It was kind of heartbreaking. in a way, because there was this gorgeous sweater that I got to judge, and you'll see this in the video coming on Monday. It was a gorgeous, um, it was a use of the seed stitch that I'd never seen before, and it was quite striking. And on the outside, it was impeccable. I looked on the inside, there was no attempt to hide any of the strands. I'm like, why would you not hide your loose ends? And that's listed in a couple of places in various words about finishing of the garment. No, the strands are hidden well, and da 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 da. And so that went from a first place, potentially a champion ribbon, to third place. It got beat out by a hat in this category because, well, first of all, because they don't have that many categories. Okay, so they need to expand their categories. And I talked to the organizers, like, we really need to expand that. But her point was, I would like to, but I can't order ribbons for something that nobody's going to enter. So that's why the categories are limited. But anyway, so all that to say, in a nutshell, then I'm going to move on here. If you're going to do any kind of entry this year, and this coming up on that season, if you're the type that's going to, enter in the county fair, our county fair is in August. That's just maybe not even 3 months away, because it's early August. So, you know, and this, I also do talk about how to prepare your items. But if you need to block something before you submit it, block it into shape for sure. Hide all the loose ends. That's the bare minimum. So definitely think about that, because that one loose strand or two loose strands could be the difference between a champion ribbon and third place, as it was in this particular case on Friday. Saturday was the festival. I got to meet a lot of folks at the book signing. It was the best book signing I've ever had, actually. A lot of people came by, and even people who didn't buy a book, but they brought their own books, and I was able to sign. And that just was a real blessing to me, just to see the supportive people there. And I want to show you what I got. If you've seen my video on Swift's, yarn balls, and Hank's Oh My, if you've seen that video already, I explain how this works and everything, but this is extravagance. Okay, I will admit it, it's extravagant. This is my new yarn Swift, much heavier than the other ones that I have. It's a tabletop Swift. I like it because it's very quick setup. You can open it for various size, if the hanks are larger. And there's also an attachment you can get if the hank still is too big. They have a paddle that will attach. And this turns on this beautifully handcrafted base. These are all these woods were all put together by the people who own the Yarn Tech company. And see how easily that spins? Isn't that beautiful? Very, very, very well made, very heavy. This is very heavy too, but it spins very well. I was able to wind several balls of yarn, and this is something else that comes with it. So when you're not winding yarn, you can take the same thing here, attach this to it, and this is a yarn holder. You can slip a ball of yarn on here, and so it just turns while you're sitting at your, sitting, relaxing, and just pull the yarn off. Now this is not big enough for the Red Heart Super Savers or even some of the Lovecrafts. It's a little bit of a stretch, but it's really more designed for the wound hanks. So I'm still going to have my pendulum yarn holders for the larger yarn, but for the smaller yarn, this works beautifully. So that was my main purchase at the fair in at the Maryland Sheep and Wool. I did find some buttons. I got two sets of these. I just thought these were just gorgeous. They're pewter buttons, and they have the Celtic knot theme going. So yeah. So that was the Maryland sheep and wool. And again, the video is coming out on Monday on judging crochet. It's kind of an overview of my experience on Saturday. And again, it's just a fraction of all the things going on at the Maryland Sheep and Wool. And if you've never been, I encourage you to go. Um, Bring an umbrella. It usually rains this time of year in Maryland. And if you saw the other short that I posted, I'm glad to be okay, but I got to sit through another impressive um, hailstorm in my Miata. So I'm learning, God is teaching me to trust him for all sorts of things in life. And just another reminder that cars can be replaced, people cannot. I was just thankful that there was not a tornado in the area. I was definitely keeping track of that and, pulled off the side of the road when I saw that things were going to get really bad. So I pulled off at a nearby plaza next to a small tree. I know someone said, "Oh, you shouldn't park next to the tree." I'm like, well, actually, the tree filtered a lot of the um, it kept a lot of the hail from directly hitting me. So I was, kind of be strategic on that one. But yeah, if there was a tornado in the area, I would not have been near a tree, I promise you. But there was none, and the wind was not too bad. It was just golf ball size hail coming down. I guess you could say all hail broke loose on me there. But was just really happy that, for the most part, the car's okay. I mean, there's some more dings in it, but it already had dings in it. So, I mean, it's just a car. So, and I'm just reminded of that. All right. I'm going to, the Hannah's questions that she sent in. Let me look at this again. She was wanting to know the name of the orange yarn in the kit. It's called Mad About Saffron. So I hope that is all right. And the name of the book, repeat the name of the book. Okay, again, this is Celtic Crochet Shawls and Scarves, and it is on Amazon.com. It's also in my online Etsy store. So if you want a signed copy, you can contact me through my Etsy store and I'll be happy to send one out. Oh, that's so wonderful, Hannah. Says a fan encouragement from Paul's Alutely Yarntastic. Well, that's a mouthful. With Heidi. It just said, I love your patterns. I made the hill on a hill far away Easter throw for a guy at church. He cried when he received it. Whoa. The representations in it are wonderful. Oh, thank you so much, Heidi. I think that's been my favorite one to design so far. Well, thank you. Thank you for sending that to me, Hannah. Thank you, Heidi, for that sweet encouragement. Um, Let me see what I got. I am going to get to the chat in just a second. I may not get to everybody today. I'm sorry about that. Lots of things to report. I also have a class. If you are a watch subscriber, um, we're going to be having a class this coming Tuesday, May 13th from 2 to 4 with Jennifer Ryan. I've asked Jennifer Ryan to teach a class on our platform, and it's going to be a Celtic knot. Let me see if I can show you a picture. I sent a picture to you all in an email, and I haven't heard from anybody yet. So I hope somebody is going to be signing up for the class. I am going to have to ask you to please sign up for the class by emailing me at bonniebay@me.com if you're a watch subscriber, just so that I, can let Jennifer know how many people to prepare for. And let me see if I can bring up a picture of what we're going to be making. Jennifer has a very unique style of crochet, which is quite amazing. Okay, let's try the email. I'm trying to find where she sent me the photo. Do, 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 do. Okay. Here is a photo of what we're going to be making. It's a pin, and you'll learn how to do her Celtic knot style. Now, if you are not a watch subscriber, you can become a watch subscriber. There's information in the video description or watch.bonniebaycrochet.com. And it's only $7.95 a month or $79.50 for the year, which is the savings of about $15 for the year. And I try to include a special Zoom class, which is, live in person about once a month when possible. You also can watch a lot of my content plus other exclusive content, ad free, commercial free. I don't track anything there. And there are many PDFs that you can download complimentary for a lot of my designs. So I think it's a good value. We are trying to make it an excellent value for our crocheter friends. So if you are not a subscriber, it's not too late. You can still sign up today. And I need to be emailed. I need to know by this evening, by Friday evening, who's going to be in the class. Um, so that will be, yeah, I need to know by tonight, by Friday evening, um, Eastern time. So I can let Jennifer know how many people to prepare for. But that class will be this coming Tuesday. And then I'll be sending out the link to those who are signed up for the class. Um, to see just some other things. Oh yeah, the Pittsburgh Creative Arts Festival. The links are live for signing up for classes. I'm going to be teaching all sorts of things. I'm going to be teaching a class on ribbing, different ways to crochet ribbing. I'm going to be teaching how to make a technology watch band in one class. It's going to be like a make and take kind of a thing. Um, and if you can see behind me, let me turn this way. Maybe that'll be better. This is another one of my jeans jackets that I'm working on currently. I've embellished it with the beautiful rescued doily that I got from an antique store. I've got a couple other examples. We're going to have a class on transforming denim with crochet. And we're also going to be using other things like beads, colorful, sparkly things. Let me show you here. I recently invested in a lot of mock crocheted edgings that we can add to different parts of the jackets. I've got a whole video that I'll be sending out to those signing up for the class to try to envision them what they want to do for the class. And it's again one of those make and take kind of things. It's not going to be so much a time to crochet as it's really going to be more like an arts and crafts class in that particular one. But again, I do teach two other classes that are going to be primarily crochet oriented. There are going to be many other classes there, quilting classes, knitting classes, spinning classes, you name it. It's going to be there at the Pittsburgh um, Creative Arts Festival, August 22nd through the 24th. Again, you can look at the video, at the link in the video description, and you can see all the different classes that are going to be there. It's a wonderful festival. I believe these are probably the most economically priced classes you'll find anywhere in the country, and they're no less good than the other ones that you're going to spend $150 for. I've taught some of these classes at Interweave in Colorado and in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and I didn't make any extra. I'm just want to say the organization charged 3 times what the cost is on this one. Sometimes depending on where you host the events, the costs are just more. It's like if you have an event in New York City, it's probably going to cost 10 times what this is going to cost in Pittsburgh. I don't know. But just that's what kind of influences it as well. A lot of down to earth people there. I found a lot less yarns, a lot less snobbery in Pittsburgh. I really like Pittsburgh. It's just my kind of place. But anyway, And that's not putting any of the other places down. It's just different. It just feels like home to me. And we're going to be doing a special music program with it's going to be like a fun night. It's going to be a mix of songs, games, giveaways, all sorts of things, all sorts of yarny goodness on Saturday evening. It's called It's Saturday Night in Pittsburgh. So that'll start, I think, at around 7 p.m. If you're attending, if you plan on going to the Pittsburgh Creative Arts Festival, definitely check getting a ticket to that event. When you register, the ticket is free. They just need to know about how many people are going to be there so they know how to we know how to prepare for how many people. Okay. And I'll mention again, Prince Edward Island Fiber Festival, October 23rd through the 25th. This is in Prince Edward Island, Charlottetown, and that's up in our neighboring country of Canada. I'm so looking forward to going up there. It's at the Delta Hotels Prince Edward. So the classes are not active yet, but as soon as that does become, I'll let you know. Probably won't be for a couple more months yet, but really looking forward to that. Um, and yeah, and just to yeah, I think I've gotten through everything. That was a mouthful. I'm so sorry it took me so long. Um, yeah, and Hannah wants me to repeat the name of the kit again. If you go to the Yarnsmith, it's just the Phoenix Shawl kit. Okay, Phoenix Shawl kit. The colors just reminded me of I've been listening to Dan Fogelberg every so often, and it just reminded me of his Phoenix song, and so I just thought, the Phoenix, rising from the flames. So that's what especially that Mad About Saffron color reminded me of. So yeah, that's how we named that. Well, I'm getting back to the chat, and um, it's really, I'm really slow here, but thanks for your patience with this. Like I said, I may not get to everybody, but I do want to try to shout out to some, especially the old faithfuls who are always here and so supportive. Michelle M. Okay, we read that one. I remember reading that. That might have been the last one I read. And we have Jess, is it Jesse and Rob? Good morning. And Karen, good to have you here. Thank you for your kind comment. And Kendall Price. And Jesse says it's very cold and rainy in Hebron, New York. Yeah, it's kind of the same here. Yeah. Um, and glad to have Sandra Harper with us. And Jeannie, so glad to have you with us, my friend. I hope you have a wonderful Mother's Day. And Phil says 68 here right now. It was 98 in Baker, California yesterday. Wow. Baker, California. I think that's where they made the Lindbergh Spirit of St. Louis plane. I think. I think I mentioned that before. Wow, that's cool. And good to have you, Donna. Jan's so funny. And let's see. And thank you, Stephanie, for your kind wishes for us. And Sheila says hello, Bonnie. Very cool and rainy here in Central PA. It's currently 48 degrees. Yeah, we're probably having similar weather, my friend. Oh, thank you, Jeannie, for the comment on the top. Yeah, this is that. Like I said, the universal yarn. It's very stretchy because it has a little bit of this something called DBT, which is probably another way of saying spandex. So it's like bamboo cotton with a little bit of spandex, and I love this fabric that it makes. I've got some more that I was looking at in my stash over here. I'm thinking about breaking it out and making another top. I'm not sure if I'm going to design something new or just go with what I've already designed. On the other hand, I don't know. My husband always says I don't like to drive down the same road twice, so maybe I'll do something new with it. I don't know. Thank you, Hannah, for your well wishes on Happy Mother's Day to everybody. And Jesse and Rob says, my mom lives in Florida, so it's difficult not being able to just take her out or spend the day with her. Absolutely. Yeah. Or just ask her what she wants to do. She might surprise you. It's kind of funny. I I wasn't dropping a not so subtle hint in the group chat with my family the other day. Nobody picked up on it. So, Hannah, if you want to shake the tree a little bit, I won't mind. Um, there's something that looked like a lot of fun. Looked very expensive, but it looked like a lot of fun for me as a mom. So, it's like, well, if you don't want to take me out for breakfast or you don't want to um, get me some flowers. There's something called the extremeexperience.com where you can go to your local speedway track and drive an exotic car like a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. I wouldn't mind that, guys. um, anyway, just a not so subtle hint. I'm just saying that with Hannah. It was kind of funny. I put that in the chat, and I don't think it dawned on anybody that, hey, yeah, Mother's Day is coming up. Why don't we get mom an exotic, driving experience? We did that for my husband when he turned 40, 25 years ago. And we got him a driving experience to drive a NASCAR at Darlington. And with the Petty, um, but can't think of his name. But anyway, the Petty Enterprises, they have something like that too. But this would be more comfortable. I think I'd rather do it in a Ferrari, a 12, one of those V12 engines. I think that would be so much fun. And I'm getting off track. Okay. um, just a thought from mom. Surprise them. Surprise them with something, surprise them. Um, and Jan says, I am a mom. All my kids have four paws and fur, although I would have loved to have had a two-legged child. Right on, Bonnie. God has other plans for me. Yeah, you're not alone, Jan. Yeah, my sister is in that same boat, and I think a few other ladies in our chat right here. Yeah, I mean, God has different plans, and I believe they're all valid. Um, and Beth says, I am also mom to furry kids. Well, tell your furry kids to do something nice for you. um, oh, thank you, Kelly. And Cynthia Burke is in our chat. Cynthia was one of our winners this past week. If you are a newsletter subscriber, remember the newsletter I told you about earlier with the contest? I gave away 3 books through our newsletter. I didn't do anything on social media about it. It was just through the newsletter. And Cynthia was one of our winners. And it's in the mail, Cynthia. I hope it gets there soon. And she says, we feel especially blessed this week by the choice of the new pope. Who would have guessed? Yeah, well, yeah, congratulations, I guess, Cynthia. Yeah, an American pope. That's going to be interesting. First time. So I'm not Catholic, but I know many people are definitely following, this story with interest. Um, uh, okay. Lots and lots of comments I have missed. And I apologize if I don't get to your comment today. Um, oh my goodness, so many people. Um, oh, thank you, Donna. She loves the kit and the book. And Ann Butler says, hello, everyone. I'm at work alone for the first time. I figured I would join in and listen while I work. Happy Mother's Day to all of you moms out there. Thank you, Ann. And you too. And Tracy Hamilton, it's good to see you in the chat. And Nessa, good to have you too. She says, I just bought the Phoenix shawl kit yesterday. Well, maybe you can still try to give one as a gift to somebody. Or what you could even do is just I don't know. Did you buy the same colors? But thank you for your support. I mean, and I know Donna of the Yarnsmith certainly will appreciate it. Um Oh, no. And Brat's mom says, "Okay, jewelry store is closing due to lack of sales and boss having heart problems. I was laid off on May 1st and boss passed away on May 2nd." Oh my goodness. That's dramatic, Linda. I hope we'll have to put you on that list too. Gee whiz. Our ladies are losing their jobs. That's not good. Uh, um, Thank you, Nessa, for your blessings there. Um, and Kelly saying that praying for you, Phil. Losing a mother isn't easy. Lost both of my parents. Yeah, that is hard. I miss both of mine very much. Well, I'm gonna just skim over and see if there's anybody new or anybody I've missed because I know I'm not gonna have time. It's 1 o'clock. Gee whiz, where does the time go? We have so many friends. Oh, thank you, Dee, for your sweet comment. And again, the top is in my video listing. Look up, go and you can do a search for Celtic braided sweater. I have a long sleeve version and a summer version available. The summer, and just be aware that they are different numbers, different yarns, different numbers. They behave differently. And oh, my pleasure. Jesus Joy said that the grand prize is very generous. Absolutely. I was just really blessed when Donna wanted to give away a kit, but she's been very thankful. She's gotten a good response. A lot of people have invested in this for the kid. I so appreciate that. I know she does too. And Brad's mom says, okay, again, I'm using spare time to deep cleaning and empty out my house, except for yarn, of course. I keep it organized. Well, and Jesus Joy 7, thank you for caring for Jet One In. That's really kind of you. Um, let's see. Um, and Sheila says, I'm a little behind commenting, but just for your information, the shawl and yarn is gorgeous. I had the privilege of seeing Bonnie. Oh, yeah, at the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival. And yeah, I had that. Yeah, I had this on the table. I had that on the table, on the little part of the table they let me have. So it was so nice meeting you, Sheila. I can't remember everybody's names, but it was so nice meeting you all. It was such a blessing for me. And Carol G and the Corn Dogs. Oh, my pleasure. She's thanking me for the generous contest. Yep, I love giving stuff away. I wish I could do it more. And Phil says, I heard Hirschner's is carrying the Big Twist yarn brand, so it lives on. Yeah, I know a lot of you all like that. That's good to know. Thank you for telling us, Phil. And I've heard good things about that online store as well. And Archer Renee says, I want that kit. I am working and have the sound turned down. Wish we'd have captioning. Yeah, they don't have that just yet for live. And Tammy says that fair book helped me place in my state fair last year. Woohoo! I'm so glad to hear that, Tammy. Uh, I tried to write it again. I tried to write it for people who are just a little hesitant. Let me share that one more time. Who are just hesitant on entering or they're just not sure where to begin. That's what this book is for. And just beware, there's one really terrible blow by blow evaluation on Amazon that I can't even respond to it on the Amazon, just kind of tearing the book apart. But this person was a seasoned fair goer and knew the system, probably administrated the system, and the book was not written for her. She thought it was dumb, but it was not written for know-it-alls. It was written for those of us who need a little help, and especially with administration. Anyway, I probably shouldn't have said that, but anyway, just if you read the evaluation, just know that it was yeah, the book was not written for her. If you know everything, you don't need a book, right? But anyway, so some of us don't know everything. I know I don't. So, um, and thank you, BJ Thornberry, for your blessings there. Oh, and Linda says, Brat's mom says that she heard that Mary Maxim is going to carry Big Twist as well. Well, if it's a popular yarn, they might as well. They're going to make sales if they do that. Maybe they can do a yarn war where they try to see who can come up with the lowest price between the two of them. That would be kind of fun. Makes it more interesting. Um, yeah, Hirschner's is still working out the kinks, is what Jan says. Don't know if it's available yet. Oh, thank you, Phil. He says he likes my Swift and he wants one. Yeah, I will say, like I said about the Swift, this was pure indulgence on my part. That was pure extravagance. But there is a link in the video. No, I don't have a link for that here, but I do have links for the different things that I show in the video about the Swifts. It says Swifts, Yarn Balls, and Hanks. Oh my, yeah, there is a link for this in there. And Barbara says, Bonnie, the only thing I have ever won was a round trip for two from Anchorage to Fairbanks. I took my new boyfriend up for dinner to a restaurant called Clinker Daggers. Flew up, flew back. Been married 37 years. Wow. Whoa. Well, Barbara, if you win, you'll get it. I mean, I am going to be selecting these at random, just to let you know. So in fact, the last three that I gave away in the newsletter, I just asked for random numbers from my daughter-in-law. She gave me the random numbers, and there's the numbers I went, and that was the order that I got the emails, and that's how I selected them. I don't pick, people I know specifically. I like it to be very random so that anybody can win, and you can win again if you've won before. All right. Well, I'm going to have to wind this down, but let me see. I will continue to read the rest of come on. Boop. Come on. Go away. There we go. I will continue to read the rest of these as I have my lunch today, but I wanted to read words to a song that we sang at church on Sunday, and I had never heard this song before. So if you've never heard this before, I did put the link to the original. Shane and Shane is the group who wrote this and are singing it in the link below. So if you want to hear what this song sounds like, it's beautiful. Although I think it's hard to make it. Hearing congregation sing this was very effective on my heart. It's called All Sufficient Merit. And just those of you who are new to my channel and think, oh gosh, this is weird. I just like to offer Christian encouragement to everybody. I'm not doing this to make anybody feel awkward or pressure anybody into anything that they don't understand or want. But just a reminder I need these reminders. So I'm going to read the words to this wonderful song. It's called All Sufficient Merit. All sufficient merit shining like the sun, a fortune I inherit by no work I have done. My righteousness I forfeit at my Savior's cross, where all sufficient merit did what I could not. In love he condescended, eternal now in time, a life without a blemish, the Maker made to die. All sufficient merit shining like the sun, a fortune I inherit by no work I have done. My righteousness I forfeit at my Savior's cross, where all sufficient merit did what I could not. In love he condescended, eternal now in time, a life without a blemish, the Maker made to die. The law could never save us, our lawlessness had won, until the pure and spotless Lamb had finally come. It is done, it is finished, no more debt I owe. Paid in full, all sufficient, merit now my own. I lay down my garments, any empty boast, good works now, all corrupted by the sinful host. I'm dressed in my Lord Jesus, a crimson robe made white. No more fear of judgment. His righteousness is mine. It is done, it is finished, no more debt I owe. Paid in full, all sufficient, merit now my own. All sufficient merit, firm in life and death, the joy of my salvation shall be my final breath. When I stand accepted before the throne of God, I'll gaze upon my Jesus and thank him for the cross. Yes, I'll thank him for the cross. It is done, it is finished, no more debt I owe. Paid in full, all sufficient, merit now my own. I just can't get enough of that song. and just love the truth that it echoes as well. It's just so freeing to me. Well, anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful week. I hope to be here next week. And just wish you all the very best. And don't forget the contest. If you want to enter, be sure those 3 things, I'll just review them real quickly. I need you to put a comment in this video once the video is done. And I need you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Most of you already have. And if you could subscribe to my newsletter. And again, some of you may have already done those other 2, but if you haven't, I need you to kind of check those boxes as well to be considered. Well, God bless. Bye-bye.